Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Virginia 529 Program Overview webinar. Thanks, everyone, for taking the time to look towards the future with Virginia 529 and to discover opportunities on how to reach your higher education savings goals. During the webinar today, you'll learn about the 4 programs Virginia 529 offers, the features and benefits of those programs, and some additional information on where and how to enroll within the programs. I'm Lori Bennett, Senior Marketing Communications Associate with Virginia 529, and you can reach me after this presentation at lbennett@virginia529.com. And I will leave plenty of time for questions at the end today, where you will be able to type your questions in to the field provided in your dashboard. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So first we'll talk a little bit about why you should save for college. Saving early and often obviously is critical because college costs are continuing to climb across the country. In fact, right now tuition increases have outpaced other types of expenses like housing, energy, and healthcare when you look at the last 20 years. Then of course there is the cost of borrowing versus saving. Planning ahead and saving for college expenses instead of borrowing when the time comes to attend college really enables you to earn the interest instead of paying it back. For a quick example, if you take a $35,000 loan at 6.8% interest, you would have to make payments of $400 for 10 years to pay back that loan. And saving that same $35,000 would take only $200 per month if you were earning that same 6.8% interest. So essentially you are cutting the amount in half by saving versus borrowing. And financialaid.org has a nice savings versus borrowing calculator where you can further your research on that. It would be finaid.org if you would like to look into that a little bit further. So clearly saving for college instead of relying exclusively on debt does cut your total cost for college in half, and to cut your total cost for college in half, and that will help whoever you're saving for, your child, grandchild, or really any loved one that you're saving for, to enter and leave college with the lowest amount of debt possible, if not debt-free, which is what you really are aiming for. Another great reason to save is that literally education pays. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, college graduates earn more than high school graduates during their careers. Also, typically children with some sort of college savings are 7 times more likely to attend college than those without savings. It seems to increase the confidence level that someone saved for them, and so therefore knew they were going to college, and it increases their confidence to actually attend college. So let's talk a little about 529 plans in general before we get into Virginia 529 specifically. 529 plans are built to help families plan and save for future qualified higher education expenses at eligible educational institutions, and they allow tax advantages on the money that is saved. The name for 529 plans originated in 1996. And that was with the passage by Congress of Section 529 of the Internal Revenue Code. That action actually placed a stamp of approval on programs that were started years earlier by certain states, including Virginia, which wanted to help families meet the rising costs of higher education. 529 programs come in 2 basic types, prepaid and savings. Some are offered directly by the 529 plan administrator, and those are known as direct sold programs, and some are available only through a financial advisor, and these are known as advisor sold programs. And regardless of the type of 529 program, the account owner always remains in full control of the account of a 529 program. The beneficiary who you are saving for never assumes control unless the account owner actually decides to relinquish the account to them. So as you know, you have numerous options to choose when you're deciding on a 529 plan. So why should you choose Virginia 529? Well, Virginia 529 is the nation's largest 529 plan. We have over 2.2 million accounts under management. We offer 4 flexible, affordable, and tax-advantaged programs. And each program has its own unique features and benefits, which we will get into today. Most of those are not offered by other college savings options. Having this variety within Virginia 529 really allows families to choose their own level of commitment based on their individual budget and saving style. We are only one of 11 states offering a prepaid tuition plan, and we are currently over 100% funded within the prepaid plan. Low fees, low initial contributions, and you combine that with the flexible program options that I mentioned are reasons that we are consistently ranked above others when we're compared to them by companies such as Morningstar and savingforcollege.com. So the first program I'll talk about today is Virginia 529 Prepaid. This program is formerly known as the Virginia Prepaid Education Program, or VPEP, VPEP. And this is one of the 4 programs offered by Virginia 529. This program specifically allows families to prepay future tuition and mandatory fees in full at Virginia public colleges or universities. Accounts can be opened for newborn through 9th graders, and typically it's during a limited enrollment period each year. And either the account owner or beneficiary has to be a Virginia resident at the time a prepaid account is opened. And a lot of the examples I will use today and the charts are from the 2012-2013 enrollment period, which unfortunately is now closed. So they are for informational purposes only. Enrollment periods typically run from December 1st of one year through March 31st of the next year, and new prices are introduced with each enrollment period. So beginning with the 2012-2013 enrollment period, prepaid contracts, we began to offer them in semester increments rather than yearly increments. And we believe that made it more affordable for families to actually get started within this program. And there are 2 levels at which you may purchase a prepaid program, Tier 1 and Tier 2. The cost of Tier 1 is relative to a 4-year Virginia public college, and the cost of Tier 2 is relative to a 2-year Virginia public community college. However, both tiers, Tier 1 and Tier 2, can be applied to either a 4-year or a 2-year Virginia public college and university. So in the 2012-2013 enrollment period, the price for a Tier 1 semester paid lump sum was either $7,325, $7,075, or $6,825, and that was dependent on the age of the beneficiary that you're saving for. And this Tier 1 semester covers one full semester of tuition and mandatory fees at a Virginia public 4-year university, or 2.6638 semesters at a Virginia public 2-year or community college. Conversely, down here, the price of a Tier 2 semester paid lump sum was $2,750. What that covers is one semester of tuition and mandatory fees at a Virginia public 2-year community college. Or, over here you see that the 0.3754 of a semester at a 4-year Virginia public university or college. So these prices are all for one semester of each tier, and you can purchase up to 10 of Tier 1 and 20 of Tier 2. You would just multiply the number of semesters by the price to determine the lump sum payment owed. Monthly payments are available as well. We have a great calculator out on our website. It's Virginia529.com, and you can click on Prepaid Calculator, And from there, you choose the length of time to pay, and you determine, and you select the number of semesters, and it will tell you what your monthly payment would be for any of those semester increments. The nice thing is you can also plug in a specific amount you would like to pay, and it will tell you what contract, what number of semesters, which tier actually fits that budget. So that's a nice tool to use. So you are not limited to schools in Virginia when using prepaid benefits. The payout actually varies based on the type of school attended. So you see listed here are the payout scenarios for Virginia Public, Virginia Private, and an out-of-state school. So if a Virginia Public college is chosen and attended, then prepaid obviously will pay the full coverage of tuition and mandatory fees at the in-state undergraduate level for the normal full-time course load. And if a Virginia private school is selected, then prepaid will pay the contract payments plus the actual rate of return not to exceed the highest Virginia public institution tuition and mandatory fees. Similar for an out-of-state school, prepaid would pay the contract payments plus the reasonable rate of return, and the payout would not exceed the average tuition and mandatory fees at the Virginia public institution in that same academic year. So the next program I'll talk about is Virginia529 Invest, and this program is formerly known as the Virginia Education Savings Trust, or VEST, V-E-S-T, and this is Virginia529's direct sold savings option. You select from a variety of investment options, and then you choose how much and how often you want to contribute. Enrollment is open year-round for this program, and there are no beneficiary or state residency requirements to open an account. The nice thing about this program is it only takes $25 to get started, which makes it pretty affordable to get started within this program. So there are 16 portfolio options total to choose from within the Invest program. The left-hand side of this chart here lists the 7 age-based evolving portfolios that are currently offered. These suggest an investment mix, basically, which is based on the beneficiary's age, and they adjust automatically over time. So they become more and more conservative as the beneficiary approaches college age and is ready to begin using the funds. And what you see on the right-hand side of the chart is the non-evolving portfolios that are currently offered. These are static portfolios, meaning that the investment mix never changes over time. And many of these portfolios, the non-evolving, are feature investments in Vanguard mutual funds. And of course, all 16 portfolio options are subject to a level of market risk, depending on the asset allocation within them. Now, using Invest benefits is pretty simple. They can be used at any eligible educational institution worldwide. The payout does not vary based on the type of school chosen, such as Virginia Public, private, out-of-state, like in the prepaid. These benefits can be used for any qualified higher education expense, and you see them listed here as well. Tuition fees, certain room and board expenses, textbooks, required supplies and equipment, and special needs services. College America is the third program I'll talk about, and this is Virginia529's Advisor Sold program, and it's offered through American Funds, and they are one of the country's largest mutual fund companies. This program provides the opportunity to basically build your own portfolio and customize that portfolio, that college savings portfolio, with your licensed financial planner. Requirements to open an account are very similar to the other Virginia529 savings programs. The enrollment is open year-round. There are no beneficiary requirements, no beneficiary age requirements, no state residency requirements to open an account. Additional information is available through American Funds. They can provide you information on a financial advisor and other information about the program at americanfunds.com/529, or also toll free at 1-800-421-0180 with extension 529. And College Wealth is the fourth program I will talk about, and this is Virginia 529's partnership with financial institutions BB&T and Union First Market Bank, and it offers high-yield, tax-advantaged, and FDIC-insured college savings accounts. So the interest rates are set by the bank, and they are tiered based on the balance held within the account. The bank will handle all the daily transactions, enrollment, making deposits, account maintenance, and then Virginia 529 steps in towards the end and handles transactions when it actually comes time to attend college and make payouts to the individual college. You can open an account within College Wealth year-round, no state residency requirements, no beneficiary age requirements, and again, it takes as little as $25 to get started in this program. And this is a nice program as well because then you choose how much and how often you want to contribute from there. Money saved within this program can be used for any qualified higher education expenses, which again I mentioned talking about invest and are listed previously. All right, so one of the main features of 529 plans are, of course, the tax advantages. All of the programs I've discussed this far, meaning all four Virginia 529 programs, carry the exact same tax advantages. All earnings on contributions made grow tax-free at the state and federal level. You can see in this chart here that the actual benefits of growth on tax-free earnings compared to taxed earnings. With an initial investment of $10,000, and then $100 a month added to the account, and we're assuming a 5% annual growth with a 25% federal tax, you actually see the difference that the tax-free growth allowed in the green here, which is pretty substantial. Also, Virginia taxpayers can deduct up to $4,000 on their Virginia state individual income taxes, and that is per account per year with unlimited carry forward. And Virginia taxpayers age 70 and above may deduct the entire amount in the same tax year. Now, the state tax deduction is only for account owners, so if others contribute to your account, you receive the state tax deduction, not them. They are welcome to open their own account if they wish to receive that deduction, but if they're contributing to your account, you are receiving that state tax deduction. So here are also a couple examples of the per account per year state tax deduction. In example 1, you'll see $8,000 contributed to one account in 2013. The account owner would then deduct $4,000 on their 2013 Virginia state income taxes and $4,000 on their 2014 income tax returns. Unless, of course, they were age 70 or over, and in that case, they would take the whole $8,000. On the other hand, seen here in example 2, if $4,000 is contributed to one account and then $4,000 is contributed to a second account within the same tax year, the account owner is able to deduct the whole $8,000 on that same tax year Virginia state income tax return. So again, the deduction is per account per year. If you own multiple accounts, you have the ability to take a higher state tax deduction if that money is contributed to multiple accounts. So as I've mentioned several times, Virginia 529 has the flexible, affordable, and tax-advantaged college savings programs, and this is really where the flexible and affordable comes into play. There are no household income limits on Virginia 529 participants. There is also a $350,000 maximum account balance allowed across all four Virginia 529 programs for every beneficiary. So for each beneficiary that you're saving for, there's a $350,000 maximum account balance allowed across all four programs. The savings programs require low minimum contributions, As I mentioned before, Invest and College Wealth both require only $25 to get started. From there, you choose how much and how often you are contributing, so you actually control what you're putting into the account. Virginia 529 programs also offer some of the lowest fees among 529 plans across the country. Additional information on those fees, you can find that at Virginia529.com or by accessing each program's program description. And you can find fees, performance of all of the programs that Virginia 529 offers. Another great feature about Virginia 529 accounts is that if the beneficiary decides not to attend school or you move out of state for any, really for any reason, they are pretty easily transferable. You can change the beneficiary of your account to a member of the current beneficiary's family. The way that works for the prepaid program is that the beneficiary that you are transferring to had to be 9th grade or younger at the time the account was opened. But the other programs, it could be transferred to a member of the beneficiary's family of any age. And you can also transfer your account to another qualified tuition program that exists in another state if you choose to do so. Sometimes you move to another state and that state offers tax advantages to residents, so it would be beneficial to transfer your program over to that state. You also have the option to hold on to the account. So you have 10 years for prepaid and College Wealth and 30 years for Invest and College America from the date of the beneficiary's high school graduation to use account benefits. Now, if the account is open for an adult, then you would just, it would be that amount of time from the date the account was open. So either 10 years or 30 years from the date the account was open if you're saving for an adult. And ultimately, there is always the option to cancel your Virginia 529 account. The money is yours to cancel the account. If that is your only option, then you are able to do so. So the way cancellations work, if you have no use for your Virginia 529 account and you do decide to cancel, a refund for the Virginia 529 prepaid program that is owned for more than 3 years would be the contract payments plus interest. If it's owned for less than 3 years, you simply would get what you had paid into the program so far. Any cancellation refund for Invest, College Wealth, or College America would simply be the market value of the account. And for all cancellations, there is a $25 cancellation fee, a 10% federal penalty on any earnings on the refund portion, and the earnings are taxed as ordinary income. As well, the Virginia state tax deductions are subject to recapture in the same tax year that the refund is issued. So for the most part, that concludes the webinar today. I really appreciate you taking the time to learn more about how to save with Virginia 529, and we are offering a special discount for your participation. The promotional code listed here will waive the $25 application fee for new Invest accounts opened at Virginia529.com. And you can also find us on Facebook and Twitter, where we often provide additional information and we offer promotions such as the one listed here and additional promotions that we frequently run. And I'm going to open it up for questions at this point. If anyone has a question, you can just type it into the field provided in your dashboard and I will answer them. Okay, it looks like I have a question. The question is actually, why do children in 5th to 9th grade pay for the prepaid program pay less than newborns to 4th grade? Yeah, in the prepaid program plans. So the answer to that question is actually because they are closer to actually going to college. Our prepaid benefits actually take into account tuition inflation. So the closer they are to going to school, the more we can predict what tuition is going to do. So that's basically the answer to that question. They're closer to going to college, so tuition is going to not increase as much as it will for the younger children by the time they are going to school. All right, so I have a second question here, and that is, what if you do not use the whole amount of what you've saved for a child and have residual left over? Can that amount be transferred to a second child? And the answer is absolutely yes. We talked a little bit about transferring the beneficiary. You can transfer part of your account if it is not used. So if you have some left over, you would be able to transfer that account to a member of that beneficiary's family. The only restriction would be the prepaid program. They would have to be in the 9th grade or younger at the time that that account was opened in order to transfer any amount left over to them. All right, I have one more here. It says, for the prepaid programs, if you select to pay with a lump sum, what options do you have to pay the balance amount? Can you do annual payments instead of monthly payments? How long is the payoff period? Cut off 9th grade. So I'll answer the first part of that question. I do believe we offer tailored payment options. The calculator only gives you the opportunity to select monthly payments or lump sum payments. But I believe if you contact our customer service department, they do offer tailored payment options such as annual payment options. But that would not be for lump sum. There would be some interest built into any payment option unless you are paying lump sum. If you select lump sum, typically the account is opened in the enrollment period from December 1st through March 31st, and that lump sum payment would be due on May 1st of the year that you actually open the account. And how long is the payoff period? I believe what you're asking is how long do you have to pay for it, and really that varies based on what you select when you open it. As I mentioned, the lump sum payment would be you have until May 1st of that year to make the payoff. If you select a payment option, there would be interest built into that payoff option, similar to a car loan or a mortgage or anything like that, and you select how long you want to pay off. You have anywhere from the time you purchase the account until they're 18 years old and graduate from college. So the prepaid account has to be paid in full at the time that they're graduating and going to school. So it depends on the age of the child, how long you have. For a newborn, you could have 18 years to pay. For a 9th grader, you would only have, 3 years, 4 years to pay for the account. So next question, is there a limit to the number of accounts that can be opened for a single beneficiary to take advantage of the tax benefit of contributing more than $4,000 per year? There is ultimately a limit. It's pretty huge. We have 16 invest portfolios, and there are several options within College America, and then you could have several prepaid accounts and a college wealth account for the same beneficiary. So ultimately, there is a limit, but it could be huge. But I mean, for example, you could have 20 accounts for one beneficiary, placing $4,000 into each of those accounts and take advantage of all of those $4,000 state tax deduction in the same tax year. Yes, so another question is, can we get a copy of the presentation? Absolutely. This is being recorded, and it will be on our website afterwards, same place that you went to register for the webinar, virginia529.com/resources. And if you click on webinars, we will have it archived, and you can view this presentation at a later time. Looks like I have another question coming in here. All right, can you review the portion on cancellation fees again and how they work? Sure. Okay, so here is the cancellation slide. So there's 4 programs, obviously. For Virginia 529 prepaid, if you own for more than 3 years, so 3 years or more, you get what you paid plus interest back. If you owned it for less than 3 years, you get just what you paid, no interest, if you owned it for less than 3 years. And then the market value for the other 3 savings programs is the refund amount. There's a $25 cancellation fee. You pay a 10% federal penalty directly to the IRS, only on the earnings portion of the refund. So whatever you earned on the money, you pay a 10% penalty of that, and then you are taxed on those earnings as well. And then any Virginia state tax deductions that you took on the refund portion are subject to recapture at that point as well. Of course, additional information on all of this is on our website and in each program description, and in all of our program materials. We have a great benefits guide and distribution guide for our programs as well out on our website that tells you more about when you're using your accounts. Are there any other questions? I think I've gotten to all of them. If we don't have any more, I'm going to end today's webinar. Okay, well, I think that's it. I don't have any more questions in here. As I said, the webinar will be archived and available on our website afterwards. So thanks everyone for attending, and I left my contact information as well. If anyone has any questions, feel free to contact me, and I can get you to the appropriate person to answer your question. Thanks everyone for coming. Have a great day.